Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Vino Volley. I'm your host, Michael Wall, and with me, once again, is my lovely co-host, Ryan Rebecki.
Mike, your beard looks absolutely just elegant tonight. It is that of power and respect.
I showered, so I'm glad you noticed.
Looks great.
It's nice to be noticed.
Mike,
Yours is coming in. Fantastic.
Thank you. Mike, all good things have to come to an end. I know that sounds very ominous off the bat, but another season is wrapped up.
Yes, it's the first time that a season is wrapped up in the history of Vino Volley, so that's exciting.
It is exciting.
Yes.
You have to take the good from what may be the bad or the painful. You have to look on the brighter side of things, really. You know? Sometimes you gotta flip the card you have on its side. You gotta look at things the other way. You gotta take a shit on a toilet, sit in the other way. Rest your hands on the back of the toilet. Give your own toilet an upper decker. Where am I going with this? I'm going with this.
I was really hoping we were going to land the plane there.
Life's about change. Variety is the spice of life.
You said,
Mike, how are you?
You fucking told me where we were going and you still haven't got there yet.
Yeah, no, exactly.
What is that? Are you talking about Klopp being done?
Oh, I'm talking about everything.
Okay.
Mike, how are you?
I'm a little tired.
Okay.
You know, we've talked about spring is in the air and there's never enough time, you know. It's
never enough.
Either I gotta mow the lawn, you gotta weed, you gotta spray for ticks. Now the pool's open, so I'm in it. We're in it, you know, trying to grow grass. So it's just like but obviously happy the weather's taking a turn. You know, starting to get the golf game in full swing. So excited about that. All in all, I'm enjoying the good weather, enjoying time spent with my buddy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, how about you? Besides the all the leaves. No, is that it?
Oh, I thought you were gonna go with like the Sarah McLachlan, the ASPCA song, just like for York and Klopp. Like,
here is the season turn.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Okay,
couldn't tell you who it was by, but
I feel like it's like Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, or
sure.
Yeah, that's probably.
Mike, I'm well.
Okay,
same thing. Fatigue on the body, a lot of yard work. This past weekend, we celebrated my oldest 10th birthday party.
Sure did.
We were both there. I was definitely there because, he's my seed. And it was good. The kids had a blast. We had a blast. It's always good, getting together, family parties, just, core memories made by all. Some memories, will be forgotten due to alcohol intake, but it's good. This is the weather that is in my wheelhouse. 75 to mid to upper 80s. I'll say like 87. In it. Love it. Just give it to me every day.
Yeah. And so as kind of your long-winded, things change, all things must come to an end.
Yep.
Yes.
Variety is the spice of life.
We're really just...
Grab the bull by the horns.
Yeah, keep going. Let's just make it a whole podcast of all these. But obviously a couple things have officially ended the Premier League season.
Yep.
I think we've only got one cup game left, which is the Champions League, but the Europa League. So wanted to give a shout out to Atalanta, soften the blow a little bit of absolutely getting our dicks kicked in by them on our home turf.
Numerous
but they beat Bayern Leverkusen, a team that has set the record for an unbeaten streak, has a history of being able to find a way to win in the later stages of the game. They shut them down. It was an amazing game to watch. So shout out to them for earning their spot because that was their way into
true Cinderella.
They're
like
into
underdog
Champions
story.
League now. That was the only way. So I think that was a great one. And then a couple things is obviously officially coming to an end. We had to officially say goodbye to Jurgen Klopp and obviously with the beauty and heartbreak of social media, I've had to do it over and over and see more things come out, which it's beautiful, but it's sad in its own regards. I am excited for the next step, but obviously I can't forget all the memories we had.
Mike, I've openly wept twice.
I thought I was past it, and then they had like a final a whole stadium. They rented out and did a final goodbye, and I was just like, oh, here it comes again.
Openly weeping, watching like the crowd sing his song, and he's like taking all in. I'm like, this guy gave so much. Would you like to know what the second thing that made me cry? Openly weep. while watching.
Sure.
I came across my Instagram. It was like nostalgic Christmas from the 90s. It's like Christmas will never be the same. And as I'm trying to just like, work through my morning constitution in the faculty bathroom, just openly weeping.
Nothing more degrading than crying while taking a hot shit.
Yeah, with D grade level government supplied toilet paper.
Anyway, so kind of on those lines, we talked about the importance, and I think it goes back to, and we kind of Trent got a little stick for it, whether this means more. The last game of the season, the turnout that the city of Liverpool put for Jurgen Klopp, you would have thought it was the turnout for a parade.
Yeah.
Now, talk about the turnout. Now, I've seen multiple videos of the Manchester City parade.
Oh, they had one?
Yeah.
Oh, people attended it?
Not really.
Oh.
It was an absolute joke. Yeah. More people showed up for the Klopp's last game than for their parade. So, again, that whole this means more, it fucking does, and we proved it. Now, there were actually some analytics to kind of...
Yeah, hit me with the numbers.
So, Blinkfire Analytics have reported that Klopp was watched by 70% more people than City's jubilations by TV viewers. So, 70% more people watched a final game for a coach than the title winners.
Yeah.
Both Liverpool and City streamed the moments on their YouTube channels with the same result. 44% more people tuned into Anfield than the Etihad. And on social media, it was much the same story, as Liverpool racked up 39.2 million engagements, where City accumulated only 27.1 million. So, fuck that, you fake assholes.
You know who did show up for the Man City parade? Was drunk Jack Grealish. Damn near falling off a freaking bus.
Oh, yeah,
like
I saw
moron.
Jeremy Doku, almost So, the scenes of their parade were an absolute joke. So again, I just,
Money can't buy happiness. But it can buy a soccer team.
I mean, money can buy a win, but it can't buy, the dedication, the passion, what it means to a fan. Yeah. So, it 100% does mean more.
Love it. Well spoken.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So, as always, just wanted to give a quick shout out to our social media outlets. VinoVolley85 on Instagram, VinoVolley85@gmail.com. Again, I am on X. VinoVolley85. I think I'm on Threads too at VinoVolley85. And then the website, VinoVolley85.wixsite. No, I fucked that up. I had it last time.
No,
VinoVolley85 at wixsite.com/VinoVolley.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that one. All right. So now that we've kind of, unless you have anything.
No, I think we've set the table. Let's take a seat.
We set the tone. Gonna set the tone. So now that we've kind of set that, to all our Vino Volleyers out there, it is time to pop those corks, indulge in a healthy pour, and dive stud showing into today's episode. So, Rye Guy, do us a favor.
I will.
And tell the people what we will be drinking today, and I will tell us how it all wraps into our discussion.
Tonight, in the moment, we are going to be consuming the Chateau de Tenuta Grand Barossa Shiraz.
I'm going to have to stop you.
Yes, I'm sorry.
You're going to have to start over.
Yes.
Can you try and do it in an Australian accent, as this is an Australian
Chateau Tenuta Grand Barossa Shiraz. You cunt.
You cheeky cunt.
2019.
I was going to say, channel your inner Bluey.
Oh, nice. Oh, man.
Eleanor's been using the word dunny.
So good.
Yeah, that's so good. But anyway, sorry to derail.
So Wine.com has this coming right in around the $20 to $21 price point, which seems to be where we're hanging out the majority of the time. It has gotten very good reviews. The winemaker notes are as follows. Deep red. Period. Dense, lifted aromas of red berry fruit. Soft and supple, yet elegant with plenty of upfront fruit. Hints of spice, pepper, and vanillin oak. Beautifully balanced tannins derived from 18 months in American and French oak.
It's double oaked?
Oh, it's double oaked. And you're fully torqued.
All right.
delicious with rare roast meats and tomato-based pasta dishes. Fuck yeah.
You always love the food combo.
Oh, I love it when they add it. I'll tell you this one, though. Not done yet.
Okay.
14.9%. So on the higher end of the spectrum.
Yep.
This is the first time I've seen a features section under product details. Features, screw cap.
Nope.
That one didn't have a screw cap?
It wasn't a screw cap.
Son of a bitch.
I know that like a lot of Australian wines are screw caps, but this one was a cork.
It has gotten very good reviews. So
Cool.
looking forward. I mean, I think it checks a lot of boxes for us description wise, but as we found out, the description does not.
Right. So I mean, obviously, Shiraz, Syrah, the definitely more into the full bodied, the heavier wines, and the last wine that we made is a Syrah heavy. So this one I'm pretty excited about. I'm kind of taking a look at it. But before we kind of have our cheers and dive into the topic, let me tell the listeners why we chose this wine. So as always, we try and tie the wine to the topic, sometimes more loosely than others. This one I think I felt melded together pretty good. And today's topic is, as we're kind of wrapping up the season and talk about maybe some high points, some low points, some fun statistics, the true crux of our topic is the beauty and agony of relegation, right? That there are, unlike in any other sport, there are teams that are coming up and teams that are going down. So what I wanted to try and find was an up-and-coming wine. And I feel like, in reading and in some of the wine magazines, Australian wines are starting to get a little bit more clout, a little bit more respect.
So hot right now.
Yes, so hot right now. So I wanted to pick, thinking like an up-and-coming wine, something it's coming into like the upper tier of the winemaker world. So we decided to go with an Australian wine. So that's how we kind of tie it in. But before we actually dive into that topic, let's have our cheers.
So, initial kind of look-see.
It is.
Give a little smell. It is
dark.
Very dark.
Love the color. That's like holding it up to the light, and you can't see the other end of the tunnel. Like it is pure darkness. Interesting. I mean, it's got decent legs.
I'm not. Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. Not like. I mean, they're there. It doesn't like look overly thick.
Yeah, thick.
But I mean, that could means it's more velvety.
Super berry on the nose right away.
Oh yeah.
I know Mike is. Do you wear sweatpants tonight?
Mesh shorts.
You're gonna need some extra room because
every now and again you might hear in these podcasts a thump, and that's usually hitting the microphone. This is going to be my dick hitting the table.
Definitely smell the berries, but also like you can tell it's hitting at 15% on the nose.
Oh yeah, she's strong.
Initial tasting notes, 100% accurate with grilled meats, tomato-based pasta dishes. That's really good.
It is really good.
Yeah.
It needs to open up more though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be interested to see if it softens, because although it does have I do have that upfront fruit. It is, you can feel
it fucking
yeah.
It gets you in the back of the mouth.
Oh yeah, it saps the moisture, but it's also, I mean, you know you're drinking almost a 15%.
Yeah, you get the oak too, which
Yeah.
is nice. But I feel like we haven't had a lot of that lately.
No.
But
let's see. I mean, let's see if it softens a little bit as we progress.
Okay.
But I think it's a good starting point. Again, high points, great color,
yeah,
great legs, great smell. It is very fruit forward. You get the vanilla. I didn't really get. I mean, I guess if they're equating spice with like that, I guess like the hotness of the wine as it goes down. Like if that's what they're equating to like spice, it's the heat. Then I'm 100% getting that. I equate that with, I guess, the booziness, but I'm not sure if those are synonymous. So
this would go absolutely balls with my pasta sauce.
Oh yeah,
and or just like grilled ribeye. I want mashed potatoes, maybe some roasted carrots. Make a whole meal. Anyway, we're not here for food.
No, So we'll circle back to it, but now it's time to kind of dive right in. And so first, I want to just kind of, again, the main focus I really want to discuss is the beauty and agony of relegation, because it's so unique to the sport. That was my dick. It's so unique to the sport. So that's what I want to, but I did want to, as the season ended, I had some statistics I wanted to point out, more on the humorous side. Like, I didn't really go with like total goals or anything. I know we did that when we kind of had our winter intercession.
Yep.
So I wanted to put, the team that hit the woodwork most this season was none other, actually most of these, was none other than our own Liverpool, who hit then this is just the Premier League again. It didn't like the Europa League, anything. 25 times.
Describe to people how I'm sitting right now.
Cross-armed, furrowed, just crunched up furrowed face, head shaking, not happy. So he's probably not going to be happy where this goes. So the next closest team was 19.
How many do we have?
We had 25.
Okay.
Darwin alone
God damn it.
was responsible for almost
28 of them.
No, 9.
No.
But still, that's, I
feel like it was more, but go on.
A little over a third, 33.3% of hitting and then again, that was just the Premier League. So that was one. Liverpool also led the league in shots with 790.
Hell yeah.
The next closest was City. How many do you think? How close do you think they were?
511.
693.
I wasn't close.
No, I would have thought you would have gone the other way, like close on their heels, but over 100 shots more by Liverpool. Now, granted, we couldn't fucking hit the cow in the ass with the shovel.
It's true.
Which, but anyway. So we had a lot of shots, but we weren't able to, I don't think our conversion rate was great. Mm-hmm. As far as the overall season,
mm-hmm.
The Premier League set a record for goals. 1,246 goals were scored this season, which was a new single season record.
Cool.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Liverpool also led the league with offsides at 100. Darwin Nunez was offside 33 times by himself.
I want to fucking flip this table. Yes, go on.
Sheffield United led the league with own goals at 7. The next closest was 4.
Oh, brutal.
And then they do kind of like a wrap up of like VAR
mm-hmm.
and how teams were affected and the positive or negative. And this was for erroneous decisions. Like how many teams had a VAR decision that held, but it turned out to be the wrong one.
Oh, okay.
Liverpool was the most affected by VAR mistakes, with 0 being awarded for them and 4 going against them with a score of -4. Damn. Now, Wolves had 4 go against them, but they also had an error in the positive for them, so they were -3. So yeah. Liverpool, and then here's the thing though. Here's the only part I don't like about it. Like it's good to see, but they noted that it didn't. If you look, it actually didn't change the outcomes. But it's like, because obviously there was one of the red cards where Liverpool ended up losing, 3-1. So it's like, well, if that goal was overturned, it would have been 3-2. But you can't go off of the end result,
Right.
All you have to do is, okay, well, if that goal wasn't scored, it could have changed the whole dynamic of the game. So I didn't like that part. But again, we were the most affected. So those were just obviously, I think it didn't even mean to be that way, but those were Liverpool kind of topped the charts of ones that I found mildly humorous. Sometimes
that's how the cookie crumbles, and sometimes
Darwin.
the cookie's offsides several times a game. But
third again, he's consistent. Where it's almost
sure is.
Third. But anyway, I heard you had some minor notes that you wanted to point out, some things about the season.
So, like, reflecting upon the season,
sure.
I could come up with 5 things that was like either events or happenings that stood out to me throughout the entire season, even before the season. That would, looking back at the 23-24 season as a whole. The first one, close to our hearts, was Liverpool doing it with depth. You had numerous, teenage kids playing up the first club, performing well. Connor Bradley being one of them, just like coming in, being nails, and really filling in a role, showing the depth of the program, and still, holding first place for as long as they did, battling back, winning a lot of the games at the end. So that was my number one that stood out to me as a fan of the game and the season overall. The second one was Luton Town getting promoted. Just feel a good story. Well, I'm sure we're going to mention them in our next segment, but it's what soccer's all about.
Yep.
You got a local town, a small little program that just like gets behind each other. You're playing in a literal neighborhood, and they packed the stands, and they got promoted, and it was a feel-good story, and you and I both wish they could have stayed up, but
yes,
wish them all the best.
Yeah, and I think part of it was the beauty in the way that they played.
Yeah.
They didn't shy away. They went at teams, and like that's what you want. Like you don't want these teams being like, okay, we're playing a Big Six. We're gonna park the bus. We're gonna try and catch you on the counter. We're looking for a draw. Like maybe sneak in like a miraculous win. They were like, no, we're gonna keep like
they weren't playing
throwing bodies.
Defense.
Yeah, throwing bodies. It was fun to watch. It was high octane, and again, like it was a great story.
Yeah.
Hope they get promoted next year, and I'll kind of talk about how those teams are impacted. But continue.
The next one was Everton getting points deducted twice in one season.
Still holding on.
Squeak in. Just like, one, how dumb can you be? And two, to somehow, stay up given the fact that they were docked so many points twice this season. This one pains me a little bit, but I gotta give credit where credit's due. The loaded Nacho bicycle kick. The Garnacho bicycle kick.
I was like, loaded
nachos. It was awesome.
It was a great kick. It was a great goal.
Yeah. Must be nice to have teeth like that. And then the last one.
Wait, did I tell you that Pat knows through his work knows the doctor did all the veneers for the Liverpool guys? So maybe if we go for a trip, we'll schedule to get some veneers.
Yeah. Wouldn't be the greatest when I go over there and they look at my X-ray suit like, oh no.
Are you kidding, dude? Did you see Klopp and Firmino? Like they're before.
Yeah.
I think he can get it done. We'll circle back.
We'll make some phone calls.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate that. And the last one was really the catalyst to City winning their fourth in a row.
Yeah.
And that was the return of Kevin De Bruyne. Just a generational player, obviously not as big as a Ronaldo or a Messi, but just like a stone cold killer in his own right for that team. I think when he came back, City was like 5 points back, I believe, if my facts are correct. And it was like right out the gate, goal and assist. The guy is just incredible, and I'm giving credit where credit is due. So those were 5 events that stood out to me that made the season unique in its own way. So there you go.
Love it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, De Bruyne is a difference maker. Although, I mean, also like I think credit where credit's due with, besides the fact that they, overspent to get this team. Pep he knows, it's like, he almost knows, he's like, the first half is like, that's when you drop the points, right? You kind of, you try stuff out against teams and, you tweak your lineups to get these different formations and you gamble a little bit in the first half. And then it's like the second half, he's like, all right, well, I figured it out. Either it worked and I'm going to stick with it, or it didn't work and I know why it didn't work and I'm gonna transition it. And that's when they go on a fucking tear. Like you can just set your watch to, you can't lose, like, because they are just not going to lose in the second half of the season. Come after Christmas, they're going to go on at least like a 14-game run. But speaking of which, though, kind of Pep has announced that this next season will be his last season.
I did see that.
And certain speculation, at least my speculation, is that he sees that the shit is going to hit the fan, and he's trying to get out as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that would.
I mean, that's my hope, is that like he's kind of been like, the hammer's coming down. This is unavoidable. I'm gonna get out before like I go. I'm not going down with the sinking ship.
Right, but it's almost like what to make a comparison, cross-sport comparison, like what happened with the Red Sox and Alex Cora. Like he got caught cheating with the Astros, even though he was here. He like went away for a year. And then they just like rehired him back once like the dust settled.
I don't think he'll come back.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, he's getting out as a sinking ship.
So, but we'll see. I mean, there's also I was going down like the rabbit hole of like how much the Saudis have kind of bailed out the UK government in like different areas, and it's like, hey, we've given you money here, there, and there to help you. Maybe you just turn a blind eye to this. So we'll see. There's a chance that nothing comes of it, but I hope that's not the case.
Handshakes and hand jobs.
I hope justice will be served. So, but now that we kind of wrapped up the end of the season, obviously, the tears were shed. We don't really need to rehash that. I did want to talk about obviously the beauty and agony of relegation, because there is so much beauty in it for so many reasons. Now, first of all, I want to talk about it from a monetary perspective. A team that is promoted to the Premier League roughly gets about $140 million over 3 years.
TV timeout. Even if you're up for 1 year, you still get that allocated money over the course of 3 years?
So you'd get the first year money. So that kind of goes into what? Because basically it's based off of like TV revenue.
Yeah, I get you.
So obviously not. So I'll get into that.
Okay.
But so $138 million. Obviously, teams gamble. Like, I mean, Nottingham Forest was one that brought in so many players to, again, the goal is to stay within the Premier League. I think obviously Luton Town was one where you stay with your core guys because it's a system, right? Yep. Like, you stay with your core guys and you battle. Like, they were dealt a tough hand, but hopefully they'll make it back. So the three teams that are coming up, as we talk about the beauty of an agony of relegation, Leicester City, but now Leicester City are a breach of financial fair play.
Jesus Christ.
So they're actually, I don't know if the official points deduction has not been handed down, but they're going to get into the Premier League, and like day one, they're going to be
in the negative.
They're going to be in the negative.
Huh.
Yep.
There you go.
Ipswich Town. So Ipswich Town is going to be my next season's Luton
Town. Hell yeah.
Very small, like,
what's their
stadium?
No, like what's their like logo? What's their mascot?
Oh, we'll look it up in a little bit.
Friggin'
Southampton's the third
tidal oysters.
But yeah, so Southampton's the other one.
All right, and they were gone 1 year?
Yes.
Because that was Ward Prowse's old team?
Yep.
There we go. I got it.
All right, looking up.
Because with relegation,
it's a horse. It's a horse stepping on a soccer ball, but it's an old soccer ball, so it actually looks more like a volleyball. You can't see from there.
No,
I mean, you could also fucking Google it. But anyway, yeah.
No, that's a bummer. I was hoping to be like...
Capacity, though, it's just under 30,000, so another small stadium. So yeah. So Ipswich Town, they're going to be my Luton Town. But anyway.
Okay.
So, a couple other numbers. Relegated clubs will receive 55% of the equal share of broadcast revenue paid to the Premier League clubs for their first year after relegation. So they do get money.
Okay.
Then it's 45% the following year, and then it's 20% after year 3. Now, if after year 3 they do not win the promotion, they have to like offload because they've had this money to pay these wages.
Right.
Now in particular, Leeds currently has to offload $100 million in player wages. So that's where like Premier League teams will poach teams. So it's like again, relegation, like not only is it so degrading to be knocked down a league, then
Yeah.
it's like the pressure of being like, all right, we're going to keep this team intact, or you gamble to keep this team intact,
Yep.
knowing you're getting still revenue, but like you have 3 years to get back. Otherwise, you've got to clear house.
Damn.
Yeah, it's wild.
That is crazy.
So that I think just from a numbers perspective, like is massive. And obviously the welcome to Wrexham, they moved up 2 leagues in 2 seasons. I honestly think they'll continue. Like the power of the celebrity draws is drawing in players. I think they were actually talking about, speaking of Leicester, is trying to get Jamie Vardy to play for Wrexham.
I read that.
So, it'll be interesting. But what I love about it, it's a couple different factors. One is it's unlike, obviously, anything we have in sport, right?
Correct.
So the other thing is that, and I wish that, like, imagine, like, obviously now The Rock has merged, like, the XFL and whatever. Imagine these XFL teams. Obviously, the rules are a little different between the two sports, so it's not a like for like. But imagine, like, the worst team in the league,
out.
Each division, like the AFC East, each team gets bumped out. Obviously, this past season probably would have been Patriots, so maybe not. But anyway, gets bumped out, and then these XFL teams get brought in and get a chance to make it into the NFL and play in the NFL.
Be awesome.
Or like any,
Hockey would be the easiest to logistically do because you have all the AHL franchises, even though they're associated in a farm system with the Pro League. You have the WH, like you have like enough hockey leagues where you could bring in like the Tuscaloosa freaking cattle bangers.
So
like, and it'd be
what
awesome.
I love is things are always changing, right? The other thing I love about it, go ahead.
Life never sits still, Mike.
How many fucking things do you have just in the holster? Did you just read a book of Proverbs?
Rises the phoenix. Go on.
I don't know if I want to. So, what it does is it just adds an extra element. Like, obviously, I hate Everton.
Sure do.
Now, in any other sport, like, you have your rival. Red Sox have the Yankees. The Bruins have the Canadians. I guess the Patriots have the Jets. So you have these teams you hate, right? But that's where it goes. Like, they're always going to be there. You're always going to see these opposing fans. Never will you have the ability to see this team potentially get knocked to another league and then run into that fan and just throw it in that goddamn face. Like, it's just like, it's an added element of degradation that just, when it happens to the team you don't like, you revel in it. But when it happens to, like, a Luton town, it stinks. You just like,
it stinks. But there is a fair play beauty in it where it's like, hey, you weren't good enough to stay up.
Yeah,
you gave it your all. Really pushing for you.
And here's what I also love about it, right? So in most sports, you have the top tier. Now, again, in all other sports, outside of the cup games, but you have playoffs. So, right, you're in this margin. You're going to make it to a separate tournament,
right?
But like, there's the bottom of the barrel that, like, when they know they suck, there's nothing to play for.
No,
that's it.
You can only play spoiler at that point.
Exactly. In the Premier League, those teams are battling until it's mathematically impossible to stay up. And so every game means something to the players, to the fans. You can see it on the pitch. You can see teams that would potentially upset a title-winning game because this team that's going for the championship needs to win all their games is playing a team that needs to win this game for survival. Like, even a draw will do so. It's just like, it adds such an added element, and it makes the game so interesting. And also, from a fan perspective, being on one of those teams, I remember 2 seasons ago, Everton, the fans stormed the pitch when I think Everton was down 2-0. It might have been to Tottenham. Came back, won the game 3-2, which secured their ability to stay up. And you would have thought they won the league.
Yeah,
like, that is the beauty of relegation, the beauty and the agony of it, because it's awful.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't imagine. Thankfully, I came in supporting a team. Obviously, I supported them when they were 8th. Like, but I was never in that like, oh my God.
Oh no, like this next one is like
right. But I know that there are fans that would rather like love being in the championship and playing for that promotion rather than getting their, shit pushed in week out in the Premier League. But it's just, it's great to have these Cinderella stories like your Luton Town, like your Ipswich that are, $20,000, $30,000 stadiums, maybe never made it, never been promoted before, or, have been out of the game for a while to come in and show what they can do.
And there's also a beauty in how you construct a team to not only get promoted, but to possibly compete at the Premier League level, where you need all things firing on every cylinder to have X amount of payroll and get a team that plays together and for each other. And,
yeah, exactly.
When Leicester came up and won the league their first year, like that was like, catching lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and it's two methods of thought. Do you just, hey, this is the team, this is the system that got you where you needed to be? Do you stick with it because it works? Or do you take, okay, hey, we know we're getting all this money. Let's gamble. Let's bring in some of these fringe players that are probably a step or two above some of the players we have to increase our ability. But obviously it adds an area of the unknown of like, are they going to jive with the system?
Right.
Are they going to stay healthy? Did we just spend all this money on players? So, I remember watching the Sunderland story, and they were looking at players they could bring in. And because of like the amount of money they had, because they had just been relegated, there were players they were like looking at like injury record. And it was kind of like, all right, like this is the guy we can afford, and we're just going to have to gamble that he stays healthy. Yeah. Because otherwise we're kind of...
It turns in almost like Moneyball.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just like, it is... it's something about the sport that I think... I mean, obviously it's so unique, but I think it adds such an element to it that I think is much needed to maybe light a fire under some of these teams that just like one of the years where the Lions, where they were kind of like, it was like almost playing for last place with like
0-16.
0-16, right? So that they get the first, like, well, if you knew that, like, if you were the team that didn't win, you're getting kicked out, probably would have had a different mindset.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So,
it is the most fair process in professional sports, where you've got to be good enough to stay up, and if not, you're going down. And then new blood's going to get injected into it. You get to see some new players. You might be the next upcoming star coming from the championship. Yep. And now you're on the big stage and you have all this exposure, and it really is exciting and does breathe like new life into the start of every season. Yeah. Just to see what these three teams can do, who they're bringing, how they play. Right. It is beautiful, and I love it.
I love it too. So now we've kind of talked about the beauty and agony relegation. Let's talk about the beauty of this Shiraz. Maybe the agony, if it really is still has got that much bite to it.
It's smoothed out a little bit. It is. I think we're on the right track. I think we're tracking back up in our wine choices. It definitely feels like an almost 15%, but it's not a harsh 15. Again, I know I always reference the Messiah, but that was like our baseline for like a high test wine.
Yeah, I mean, you're drinking alcohol in this one. Like, it's there.
Yeah, you would need something like Hardy with this to hold up to the booziness of it.
Yeah, but I mean, it is all it was cracked up to be. It is fruity. Mm-hmm. It does have that dry finish. Again, if we're equating that hotness to that peppery, it definitely has that too. Mm-hmm. To me, the only thing that is taking away from it is the fact that I wouldn't consider it a super easy drinking wine. No. It's a full-bodied wine, but it is...
I wish it was drier at the end, because I feel like you feel more of the booze. Like, almost to the point where I feel like I could put a lighter up to my mouth
Yeah,
and blow.
no,
and
exactly. So that's again, it's just like you got to take your time with this, right? You can't let it get away from you. You can't just be like free and easy.
Get your pants off in a playground. And...
Yeah, you can't do that anyway. But
what?
I'm doing it wrong this whole time. Yeah, it's just like you. I don't know. I feel like I feel like I have to treat it more the way that I would treat like drinking a glass of bourbon or a glass of tequila, where it's just like it's small sips. You kind of gotta swallow a couple times because it does just have that hotness to it. But again, flavor profile, I think it's great. If you wanted to kind of just have a bottle and get really tuned up and maybe sweat a bit,
throw a leg over your wife, and see what happens.
Wouldn't you throw her leg over you?
Listen, I don't know what you do in the nighttime. Or whatever time. It's none of my business.
It's giving her the people's elbow. So, but yeah. So I think all in all, so far, pretty solid. But now that we've hit the midway section, and given our thoughts, we'll obviously circle back to it at the end. But it is now time for the Backpfeifengesicht. Can't tell if I'm getting worse or better at saying it.
It wasn't your best.
Backpfeifengesicht.
There we go. You got it.
So, I know it was missed on the last episode. I got it out early enough on our social media post. We didn't have any write-ins, unfortunately.
That's because
I'm looking at you.
That's because life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
You're going to get a kick in the teeth.
It's not a big thing.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to fix your face with my foot in a second if you don't stop with you.
I think they have to fix it if they're all caved in, right? Anyway.
Tread softly with what you say next.
Go on.
God doesn't close the door without opening the window. Do you have anything to say?
Expect the unexpected.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay.
Would you like to go first?
Yeah, I would.
Well, actually, did I even finish? Because you fucking...
You don't have to.
No, I do have to.
Okay.
We're going to do Everton.
I'm all...
All right, so as
a caged animal.
Our rivals from across the park, Evertonians, we have decided that is the team that we're going to pick. Obviously, it doesn't really relate... Well, I guess it relates to the topic because we really wanted them to get fucking relegated with their points deduction, but...
Sure did.
God damn it. They did not. So... Rye, why don't you go with your Backpfeifengesicht?
Mine took zero time to think about. The fact that I even searched...
I looked you in the eyes and I knew.
Yeah, you knew. The fact that I even searched the players on Everton was a waste of about 4.5 seconds of internet search time because, without a doubt, my pick for the Backpfeifengesicht... Bless you.
Because I'm tight.
Was, and will always will be Jordan Pickford. This is one of animosity. He is a smug prick who thinks he has to be the center of attention of every game. He's so overdramatic the way he plays every ball and in tight situations. I'll fucking never forget that game where he was purposely killing clock against Liverpool, going to the ground, winking at the bench. He finally got a yellow card, and that didn't make a damn bit of difference. And you know what happened? We finally scored. The damn levies fucking broke, and I think we hung 4 or 5 on him that day.
No, that one you're talking about was 1-0 because then I remember Allison mocked him where he caught the ball. It was like a looping, caught it, and then went to the ground. But yeah,
again, he is the number 1 goalkeeper for England, right?
Unfortunately, Pat and I were talking about do you know who made the England squad?
Go on.
Curtis Jones. Swear to God, that dude has hacking skills and pulled dick pics from all pertinent coaches, and he's threatened them. That's how he gets into these teams because I don't understand what he brings to the table. But I could go down a rabbit hole.
It's the thing on the interwebs of was it Tony Stark trying to talk to Thor, and he looks over, and it's Jordan Henderson, people who make the English team, and it was Bellingham, whomever, and it was just Henderson. He's just that's Curtis Jones. Anyway, I digress. Jordan Pickford is 100% the guy who thinks he's like Joe Cool, like too cool for school, and probably tries to play like tricks on everybody in the locker room, but all the tricks are just him showing his dick to everyone. He's just like constantly bat-winging everyone in the locker room, just being like, "Oh, you see it? You like it? It's nice. You looking at it, huh? Yeah." And just like that's it. And then like he's just constantly going around. He'll be like,
I feel like he's got a baby dick too, like a micro penis.
I don't listen. Don't even do it. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he wears a cup. He's the only goalie who wears a cup. Because he just seems like I don't know. I'm trying to degrade him in every way possible. Now it gets to my part of where I size things up.
Oh, he's small.
I wouldn't say he's small. I would say he is...
Small for a goalie.
I would say he's 6'1", 170 pounds.
Okay.
He seems a little bit bigger. I don't know. Maybe it's like the
gloves.
It's the pleats. But every time I look at him, I just can't help but get enraged, close fist, and he would be one that my hypothetical assault on him would be 100% animosity and hatred. Smug prick. Just like pompous asshole. That's my pick.
Okay.
Fuck that guy.
My pick for the Backpfeifen Gesicht is the one and only James Garner. Not to be confused with the strikingly handsome and super talented actor James Garner.
Okay.
No, this James walks a different path. Yeah, and there it is. Ryan has just pulled up pictures.
Oh, man.
This path is one of half man and what could only be described as half rodent. He really kind of just like is the real life personification of Peter Pettigrew for all my Harry Potter fans out there. Ryan doesn't get it, but
he has like an orangutan.
No.
Upper,
it's like the teeth, like that.
Oh, I don't see the teeth yet.
But again, for all my Harry Potter fans out there, you betrayed Lily and James, you son of a bitch. Sorry, I had to get that out. So. Yeah.
Oh man.
He's like it's not great. I didn't size him up because I don't do that. I go purely on either if there's a personal vendetta or, but he fits he's just ugly.
6'1", my guess is based on the pictures, he's about 160
So
pounds.
I mean, but obviously as a Liverpool fan, I really could have picked any Evertonian. It makes it an easy choice for most punchable face. And then I said also, fuck Jordan Pickford because I still have not forgiven him for that tackle on Virgil van Dijk that took him out for over a season. But yeah, he is just ratty.
Yeah, he's got like an acne thing going on.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not great.
No, he's not an attractive fellow.
No.
So who knows? Maybe a punch in the face could clear things up. But yeah, that's my pick.
That's pretty. It was good. It was clean, clear,
I
under
mean,
control. Unlike his face.
I'll
tell you though, I did scroll through for a second, and I came across a one player. And again, I don't want to strike this player, but little Jensen Metcalf. This guy, he's just a little guy. He looks like he is 7 years old in all of these pictures. He's also got that weird long neck thing going on. But it says he's 19. There's one picture that he looks, honestly, damn near maybe 9 or 10. He's just a widow guy. Yeah, so there you go.
I mean, there's so many players. Tell you what, Sean Dyche can fucking take a fucking fistful of knuckles to the jaw.
Oh, you know what? I bet you he would eat it and then take one more before he headbutts you through a friggin' pub door.
I mean, I think it's kind of shitty, but also like I don't really care because I never liked the guy. But he did so well with Burnley for so many years. Yeah. They get relegated. He goes to Everton. He's he does a good job with them, and then Vince Kompany gets Burnley promoted, then immediately relegated, and is somehow getting the Bayern job.
Whoa!
Oh yeah, I don't know if it's finalized, but he's in close.
He definitely has like a special made hat. That dude has a massive dome.
Yeah, that'd be a hard one to punch. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, those are our punchable faces, short and sweet. Again, no write-ins. But before we kind of reveal the wine and the topic and the team for next week, why don't we give our final thoughts and score on this wine? Ryan, I'll let you go first.
First initial sips. It was good right out of the gate. True to form. Big berries up top. And then you get a little bit of the vanilla, but you get the nice oaky finish. My knock against it is that it does taste boozy. Like, it's a higher alcohol content, and it doesn't have like the richness and the lingering flavor to almost hide the booziness. Like when I exhale, like I said,
I'm gonna have agita. I'm gonna have to pop some tongues.
When I do like a strong exhale, it's definitely boozy. With that being said, if you were to,
by the way, when you said big berries up top, I think it was boobies,
big old dribblies,
tickle bitties.
If you were to open this during a meal and like pace yourself during a big meal, I think that's where it would hold up. As it said in the winemaker notes, you could do it, but if you were to like try to gas a whole bottle of this, or even split a bottle of this, like
bad decisions.
You're in for something, and I don't know what's going in or out or around. I don't peer in your window in the night, but so number wise, I initially thought we'd be back in the 8 threshold. I dialed it back with the booziness of it. I'm going 7.5. I would probably try this with a full meal as directed, because I think the meal would piggyback nicely with this one. Mike.
So, as kind of stated, it has a lot going for it. Great color, great legs, definitely fruit forward, but it does. I think what my biggest, not problem, but thing that I think hurts it a little bit is kind of the same thing. It's strong. Now, obviously, I'm taking it from like my Syrah heavy wine with but that's a blend, and it is so bold, but it's so smooth. So I think that's where I'm hoping that the replication would be, but I don't think, because ours is a blend and it has grapes to soften it up. This one is just pure bold. Now, I did have a Petite Syrah not too long ago that was bold but smooth. So this one, I think I'm going to go 7-1.
Like that.
So again, it's enjoyable, but kind of like on the same lines as last episode.
Yeah. There's
a couple things about it that just aren't my jam, we'll say.
Like that.
So it's
very pun.
If someone's like, hey, like, would you like another glass? Would you try something else? I'd be like, you know what, I'll probably try something else. So 7-1, done and dusted. Now.
Yeah, it's I think it's also a documentary online. It's like granny porn. Done and dusted. It's been a while since you've said it, so I just want to remind you that that's every time you say that, that's what I think of. Gilf porn. Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
From the ashes rises the phoenix.
You ought to use that one.
Spanish.
Anyway. So now that we've kind of wrapped that up, I want to talk about what we have to look forward to in the month of June. And to start things off, our teams, just want to make sure I don't forget, our team that we're going to be choosing is Brentford. They're one of the 4 teams that we have not chosen yet. We're lucky that we got the teams that were relegated out of the way, so we got a little bit of a buffer to get those 4 teams in before the start of next season.
Purposely.
Eventually, we will have to switch from the Premier League to another league once we get the current 4 and then 3 new ones.
Yeah.
So, but Brentford, again, no real tie-in to the topic. It's just we're just crossing names off a list. But next week we will be discussing the main topic is going to be kind of going into, Ryan and I are going to choose. We're going to talk about players that players you love to hate or players you hate to love. and we'll kind of keep it with the same format as the hair. We'll give our top 3
Love it.
for each and an honorable mention. So we'll kind of talk about why, and maybe we'll have some overlap like last time. But Rig, I want you to tell the folks the wine we will be drinking.
Next episode, we are drinking the Love You Bunches by Stoltman Vineyards. It is a Sangiovese, so Italian grape, but it is a Santa Barbara, so it's a United States Sangiovese.
And the tie-in is obviously I found a wine that had love in the handle, or love in the name, since we were doing Players You Hate to Love and Players You Love to Hate. So there we are.
The label you can't miss. It literally is a white label, and it looks like a drunk girl wrote like "Love You Bunches" on it. That's what it looks like.
They're bubbly letters. So yeah, looking forward to that one. Looking forward to talking about Brentford. Again, folks, if you are so inclined, you might not have any skin in the game as far as Brentford, but it doesn't matter. We always like to hear write-ins. So feel free to shoot us a message at vinovolley85@gmail.com.
It's a good list episode. So it's a good participation episode.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
People,
we would also love to hear, if there are players you love to hate, players you hate to love, send us in. We'd love to read it out as well, as we love fan mail. But to that, we would love to keep going. But after VAR review, we are officially out of wine, and thus must put the final cork in this episode and say, listen to us next time on another episode of Vino Volley. So Ryan, as simply as possible, without any goddamn proverbs, can you just fucking end this episode?
I can.
Okay.
As always, remember to sip and soccer responsibly. We bid you a Freddy adieu.